Hello and welcome to Redefining the Significance of You Time for You, by you, because of you. My name is Denise Drinkwalter, and I'm an empowerment life coach. And I support women around the globe to lean in and realize the importance of you. The goal of this channel is to provide you, the viewer, with some takeaways that will help you shift, change, reevaluate, and or become more aware of what is possible for you. We have a variety of incredible guests who are sharing their life experiences that have helped them become the phenomenal individual beings that they are today. Every one of us, sometime in our lives, has that infamous free time, and then we feel guilty for taking some time for ourselves, embarrassed and or wrong. We are here to help you change that and support you to see what is possible for you when you take the time for you, by you, because of you. Today's episode, it is such a privilege and an honor to introduce Duanita Norman. Duanita is a remarkable individual whose journey towards health and wellness has not only been inspiring but transformative. Juanita is a dedicated professional with over 14 years of experience in the field of health and fitness. Her story is one of resilience and determination. As a young girl, she faced the challenge of a heart murmur, a condition that spurred her on a quest for lifelong heart health. In her 20s, she discovered the power of aerobics, realizing the profound impact of exercise on not only physical, but her mental well being. However, it was in her 30s that she delved even deeper, recognizing the pivotal role that nutrition played in the holistic approach to health. Armed with this knowledge, Juanita embarked on the path that led her to obtain certifications, not only as a personal trainer, but also in nutrition, behavior change management, weight loss, and functional training. Her expertise is a testament to her unwavering commitment to helping individuals achieve their health goals. Her roster boasts an impressive 300 to 350 individual clients, each benefiting from her tailored approach to wellness. And what sets her apart is her dedication to ensuring that her clients not only adopt healthy habits, but also integrate them seamlessly into their unique lifestyles. She understands that no two people are alike, and thus no two lifestyles are the same. With Juanita by your side, you are not merely embarking on a fitness journey, you are embarking on a journey towards self discovery and empowerment. Through her guidance, clients learn to show up for themselves, taking charge of their health through a balanced blend of exercise, nutrition, and lifestyle adjustments. It is such a privilege and an honor to welcome you here, a beacon of health and wellness, to our show today. Oh, I love everything about you, my dear. Ah,
Thank you, Denise. It is my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me today.
it's so incredible. I love what you're talking about lifestyle. So many times I have, hand up, me, I have looked at, oh, that looks like, if I could look like this at the end of the day, that's going to be amazing, right? Oh, but look at this one over here, and then look at this one over here. And I'm looking outside and I'm like, is this really what I should be doing? And I know now, gray hair is real. I know now that there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes rather than just do this workout plan that's made for anybody and everybody, one size fits all, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Doesn't exist. Does not exist. And it's been quite a journey even for me. And it took me going through this too to realize that everything out there is not for everybody. I think one of the biggest examples is people look on TV and they see, oh, I've got this machine. I can get it. I can look like that person. You don't know what else that person is doing in their lives to really look like that. They're showing you that machine, but They're probably watching their food. They're working out more than that. So we take what we see for face value. And what we really have to do is look at, wait a minute, who are you? And what do you want? And what's realistic for you? Because that's the other thing I think that happens as we grow older, right? Some people want to look like they did in high school. Well, you know what? Life is different. Things have happened. And the most important thing is to find out, where do you want to be that is sustainable for you? What's
Mm,
sustainable? You may want to look like you were in high school, but when we talk about what you have to do, not just to get there, but what you have to do to stay there, are you willing to make that kind of a lifestyle adjustment in order to stay there? Because if you're not, then we need to look at what you're willing to do and be realistic about where you're going to be. Because the whole goal really is to be able to maintain and not be jockeying back and forth
yeah.
about, okay, now I'm bigger now. Okay, now I'm smaller now. It's let's maintain, let's have a lifestyle that we can maintain, because it's also less stress on you all the way around. And when your health and wellness is where you would like to have it, where you can maintain it, let me tell you, the stressors that it takes care of in life is amazing. It's amazing.
I can only imagine some of the stories that you have with the
Mhm.
numbers of clients you have shared. And of course, I watch your incredible content, and I am in awe of the results that your clients get. And I'm assuming, and help us to understand, when a client reaches out to you or a potential client, what does that look like in terms of that process to decide whether or not you're going to work with them? How do you figure out what their lifestyle is? Like, are there some pieces in there that you could share with the audience so we have a better sense?
Oh, absolutely. So I have a free consultation that I do, and that is for that very purpose, is to find out more about the person I'm talking with, and also to see if it's going to be a good match for us based on what they're looking for. And in that consultation, we try to I get to their lifestyle, everything from, are you married? Do you have kids? Are you empty nester? Like, what is going on in your life right now? And the other thing I talk about is, what causes stressors for you in your life? What is
Mm,
stressing your life out? Because that's a big part of this whole thing. This whole health and wellness thing has a lot to do with the stressors. What's stressing your life out? And another big question is, and why now? Why are you deciding now that this is where you want to go, or this is where you want to be? What has changed in your life, or what has happened for you to make that decision? And I let them tell me what's going on. Let them tell me their story to see what's going
mhm.
on. And then we also talk about, how are you eating? Because some people may not come to me for nutrition, and that's okay. They may not want a nutrition plan, but I need to know how you're eating, because I need to tell you how you need to show up if we're going to work together, because the way you eat is going to make a big difference in the results that you get and in how you feel. And a
Mm,
big one is, how much water do you drink? Because that's huge. How much water are you drinking, and what else do you drink? So I get a whole lifestyle perspective of what's going on. And at the same time, prior to meeting with them too, I will send them 3 forms. One is a health form, because I need to know something like, do you have bone issues, joint issues? Has your doctor told you to beware of this? I need to know those types of things. I also need to know, need to know, like, what type of equipment do you have at home?
right.
Because when we do that free consultation, we also do a mini workout. So I can see, form wise, where you are. Where is your fitness level? You can tell me where it is, but I will tell you
Yeah.
that for many years, people will think that, and they are pretty fit, but their form in some things is not where it ought to be. Because anybody, if you're our age, back in the day when they were teaching you how to do squats, you were always in your knees, right? And so then sometimes people have knee problems now because of that very thing. Whereas a squat, if you do it backloaded, where it's supposed to be building up your hamstrings and your glutes, that's what it ought to be. So I do that whole thing. It takes about 90 minutes for us to get through
Wow.
that consultation, because we got to get the mini workout in too. And then I let them know, we at the end, I ask them, what do they think? And they don't have to make a decision right then. One thing I do hope is that even if somebody doesn't work with me, they go away knowing something more about themselves, to help
Mm,
themselves out in their life. And at that moment, or even later on, but they leave with something that enlightens them, something that helps them to be better in their life, no matter what happens. And so that's how we start off. And then if we go forward, I make a program based on what I see and what their goals are. So it's about their goals and also giving them what they need, because sometimes their goals don't incorporate what they need. So it's my job to make sure they both they both get taken care of.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I love what you're saying. You are giving them the ability to share with you what it is they're wanting. It's not coming from you. You're meeting them where they're at and showing them what is possible if they follow what you provide, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So, so good. I love this. I love this.
Exactly. And when we train together, we always talk about nutrition anyway. And
Okay.
I will always ask, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Because sometimes the other thing during those sessions is, let's talk about, if you're not doing well, what is it? Because that's a great time to get that out. And what happens is when people talk to, I know they're breathing. So I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about somebody holding their breath while they're working out. If they're talking
Yeah.
to me, I know they're breathing, but at the same time, they're able to get out maybe what they can't talk to everybody else about.
Right.
You know, maybe you talk to somebody at home and they'll just say, oh, you should do this. I'm not going to tell you what you should do. Right. Just tell me. And sometimes they'll say, well, what would you do? Well, and I always say, based on the information you're telling me, because if you remember, I don't know both sides of the story.
Exactly.
This
Yeah.
is what I would do. But yeah, and also teach them how to maintain what they're gaining. You know, let's talk about how we're going to maintain this. Let's talk about what you can do on the days that you're not with me. What can you do in
Perfect.
order to keep yourself moving steady so that your body doesn't do a yo-yo, one day on, one day off, one day on, because it will never get a rhythm if you do it that way. So
Right.
it's also
Right.
training them at the same time to be able to take responsibility for their own
Mhm.
exercise. As much as I help them out, they need to help themselves out too.
Exactly. You can't do it for them.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah. I mean, if you could, you would be gold. You're golden, but you would be so gold,
Exactly.
girl.
I need to patent that one.
Yeah. No kidding. Who knows what's in the future, all this stuff that's coming out. But I love what you're talking about because what you're doing is a support, but not just support, it's support with depth of knowledge
Right.
and the ability to be able to take the information you're receiving visually as well as auditorily. They're telling
Mhm.
you stuff, but you're also doing the workout. I've never heard of that ever happening before. This is the
Yeah.
first time I've ever heard of somebody doing that.
Because it makes the whole
Yeah.
picture come together, right? Because I really feel that when you begin to have sessions and pay for sessions, we shouldn't be figuring it out while you're paying.
Hmm.
That should be figured out before you start,
Love that.
right?
Love
So when
that.
we
Yeah.
start together, you're getting benefits from day one,
Yeah.
you know,
Which
and
is powerful, obviously. I mean,
that's what
there's
we ought to do,
impact.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what good coaches do. Absolutely. Impact from the first meeting. Yeah. Love
Exactly.
it.
And the other thing too, what I said about the weights, besides that, I also have a meeting because I need to see your space. And I need to
Hmm.
see if it's safe. I need to see if we've got any obstacles going on that you didn't think about.
Yeah, I bet.
To see how much movement room you have, because
Mm.
depending on that, I have to make a program based on the movement room that you have. Some people have more than others. So
Yeah.
that's the other reason, is to look at the space and see what I'm really working with.
Hmm. Comprehensive. I just love this. This is incredible. Do you work with certain clientele or are you open to anybody and everybody? How does that work?
I will work with anybody and everybody. I would say my main clientele is probably 50 plus,
Okay.
mainly because they're the ones that when they get older, sometimes in the fitness world, not as much care is taken. You know,
Yeah.
people don't understand where they're coming from. You know,
Yeah.
they don't want to be the next bodybuilder. They don't want to be the next strongest person around the corner. They want to be them.
Yeah.
They want to be them. They want to be fit. They want to sometimes maintain, sometimes they want to lose, but whatever it is, and then taking the care to take from where they at, because I know how this is, because being in the field and coming through, I saw even myself, you know, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to
Yeah.
be that. What I want is this. This is what I want, you know, and just giving them what they want instead of them feeling like, you know, they're being put upon and being having to be people that they don't want to be, do weights they don't want to do because they don't want to do that
Right.
heavy. So that's my main niche. But I've trained people from 13 to 84.
Right. Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. There is no end, right? There is no end. Anybody who wants to move their body and
Anybody.
learn to live the healthy lifestyle. It's
Yes.
not just, yeah, it's not just, okay, the workout. There's so much encompassing all this.
There is so much. And I tell my clients too, your exercise really is about 20%. It's the rest of your life that's 80% that's driving everything else, right? So the idea that you think you can just exercise without looking at the rest, no, it's got to be all encompassing. It's all one,
Mm-hmm.
because then you
Mm-hmm.
get frustrated when you don't see results,
Yep.
right?
Yep. For sure. Yep. 100%. Been there, done that, done with that.
And we all
Yeah.
want results.
Well, exactly. If you're putting in the time and the energy and the focus, you want to see something happening. The
Exactly.
one thing I definitely would say for me is that I notice it's not so much body shape, but it's how my body doesn't hurt anymore the way it would when I try to get out of bed when I was off on a hiatus that it started because of a back issue, but it just maintained because I got lazy, right? It's like, nah, but now I'm back into, and of course, I'm like you. I can continue to learn. I can continue to understand more about all of the components and not just sticking to focusing on making sure I do whatever I do every day, right?
Right.
Um, and those are the pieces. What makes you different from others in the industry you do?
I think the thing that makes me different, the main thing is a lot of others in the industry, they grew up in fitness.
Yeah, yeah,
I I've been in fitness since I was in my 20s. I
yeah.
professionally started doing fitness when I was in my 40s. And one thing that I find I tend to understand is, so that means I worked in the corporate world just like everybody else. So when you tell me what you're going through, I know. And I'm not going, and I know it's no small matter, because I think sometimes fitness professionals can make it small. Oh, all you have to do is this. No, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. When people are working in jobs that are stressful, where they've got deadlines, it's not that easy to say, well, you just have to go have your lunch. It's not that easy, because you're working for a corporation and everybody else isn't
Yep.
getting up for lunch. Neither are you. So no, we've got to find a way for you to get something in there regardless. And it might be a protein drink, but it can't be a just do this, because there's no such thing as just do this. So I find that with me, I'm able to, because I have been in the corporate world and I have experienced these things and I had to navigate these things too, I'm able to help other people, other
Yep.
women, other men, to navigate these waters, instead of just telling them, well, you just do this. And I know how to ask the questions to get more information on what's going on,
Mm,
because I've been there. And I think that's a big thing that makes the difference, is because I have worked in the corporate world. So I understand when I'm working with people, what I'm working with when they tell me.
yeah. Make a connection. You
Yeah,
can connect in a way
exactly.
that others can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you can't do it. If you have not worked in the corporate world, you can't even begin to act like you know what it's like, because it is
Yeah.
it is
No.
something else. And fitness is very different. I know I've said a number of times, I said, I love fitness. I love it. I said, but you know what? I said, because even when I was sometimes in a studio and they're stressing, I'm like, guys, this is nothing compared to what's out there. This is, I said, this to me is so manageable. And they just kind of look at me, and I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, because you don't understand what these guys are going through every day. They
Hmm.
have high level positions and it is
Oh,
crazy out there.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And if they want to be able to balance and
Right.
not just survive, but thrive
Right.
without their bodies, their minds, their souls getting sucked into that,
Yep.
they need somebody like you who has the ability to connect, understand, and show them how things can move differently, right? On that pegboard. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Beautiful.
Because they can get so sucked in, and it's just like,
Oh,
you know what?
yeah.
Sometimes you got to navigate around, and you might have to do a little bit extra work, but in the end, you'll feel so much better. If it means you got to take your lunch because you can't get out, take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And coming up with ideas with people. What can you do? What really can you do
Yeah.
based on the time you have? What can you make? What can't you make? What do you have to grab? What do you have to have at home? Just coming up with ideas to make people's lives easier. So they can thrive,
Yeah,
like you said, so they can thrive and not just feel like they're surviving all the time.
exactly. Because when you're on that overload, you can't problem solve those types of things on your own. You don't see it. You can't see the forest for the
Exactly.
tree. All you're like, I just need to make sure I stay healthy. I don't really know what that means, but I just need to do it because that's what
Right.
everybody's telling me. But you come at it from a, like, I love what you're saying there. Like, you can show them, okay, so what is it? What does it look like now? When are you having your lunch? You're not having, like, and you can problem solve and say, well, if you did, what if we tried this and tried that and tried it this way? What would, let's see what happens with that,
Right.
right? Yeah,
Right. And I think
amazing.
and I think the
Oh,
other important thing that I know I tell my clients is, guys, they say that this is a journey, and it is a journey, but it's really a journey. So you may be eating like this today. 10 years down the road, it may have to flip the script. So that's why this word that mindfulness, being aware of when your body's telling you things, because sometimes your body reneges food that you've had for forever. But you've got
mhm.
to realize and be aware that, okay, this is what's going on with this. Because just because you're eating like this today, don't get stuck in, okay, this is my thing and this is what I'm doing. Because down the road, it could really change, because our bodies change, our metabolisms change,
Oh yeah.
and you just have to be prepared for it. So thinking this is a one and done, it's not ever a one and done. It's a journey, just
Mhm.
like it's a journey. It's not just oh, I'm on my
Yeah,
journey and I'm here. No, it's forever
yeah,
going, just like everything else.
yeah, yeah. And when you show them how to understand their bodies, that practice will start to probably flow more naturally, and it's not a resistant, I want to look like this. It's like,
Right.
something's not right. I don't know what it is. Can you help me problem solve around this? Yeah,
Yeah.
love
Exactly. And
it.
that's one thing they get rid of really quickly, is trying to look like someone else, or nope, they're just fine
Yeah,
being who they are. I'm like, it's absolutely fine. We all come in different shapes and sizes.
absolutely.
We have different
Yes.
lives.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. It's
Yes.
beautiful. So we should. Yeah. Yeah. So you empower them. And I just love everything about you. I love your energy. I love your focus. I love the journey you've had to get you to where you are so that you can show what is possible for others. And I love that you don't cookie cutter your stuff. You are very much about, let's do this 90-minute, let's figure things out. What is it you want? And I'm sure your questioning is bang on, bang on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it has to be. It has to
it
be.
does.
It does.
Yeah,
It has to be like spot on,
yeah,
because that's the only way I'm going to get down to. And sometimes that's it too. If I have somebody who's not willing to be spot on, can we work together?
yeah,
Because I
exactly.
got to know if I can help you, because I do not want to bring you on board if I really cannot help you.
Exactly. There's no purpose. Exactly.
Exactly. It's not
Yes.
fulfilling for anybody. It's not fulfilling
No.
for me. It's not fulfilling for you. And sometimes you may have some body issues that really need a physical therapist or a
Yep.
chiropractor, not me.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. So to find you, we will find you at www.maturefitandfab.com. That's in the show notes. So
Yes.
people can click it and grab there. Is that where they can sign up for the consults?
Yep. They can go all the way, just scroll down to the bottom of the page. It'll say free consultation, fill it out, and it'll come right to me.
Beautiful. Amazing. Awesome.
I
What
think,
an honor. Oh, so good to have this conversation.
yes, I love it. And thank you so much for having me today, because the more the word can get out to people to take care of themselves, the better off we will all be.
It's true. It's so true. When we can de-stress and live
Hmm.
healthy lifestyles, the energy in the globe will change
Yes,
100%.
absolutely.
One person at a time. So make sure you grab the link that's in the show notes for those who are going to be watching on the replay. Connect, go to the bottom of the website, and that's where you can access and fill in the form, and it'll go right to her inbox, and she'll be waiting for you. Right?
Yes, I will. Looking forward to it.
Thank you for joining us today. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do. You don't want to miss any of the phenomenal people that I get to have these powerful conversations with. You will learn, just like I learn every single time, something brand new. And for 20 minutes, why not? Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye.